Hi, welcome to BlindOwl Bushcraft and Survival. Please enjoy our channel. If you would, we'd appreciate it if you join our Patreon page. It's been a long road. Thank you. Hi, welcome to BlindOwl Bushcraft and Survival. My name's Dan. I'm here in the Philippines. I'm sitting under a fallen tin roof that went down in the typhoon December 16th, 2021. It was a super typhoon that hit Bohol, wiped us out. I have this roof down. I'm still missing two other roofs. Never been able to replace them yet. Thought I'd do a Fatwood Friday for you guys. Today I have a different knife that very few of you have. A couple of you might have one, but very few of you, I'm sure. This is a Hibbon knife. This is the Hibbon 3. Beautiful heavy-duty Bowie knife with maybe a 7.5 inch blade on it. 7 inch for sure, maybe 7.5. It's got a real nice hardwood handle on it. It's got nice bolster on it. Had one on top that curved back the other way. I ground that off so I could get my thumb up on top of the knife for delicate carving, stuff like that. It's very heavy. Came with a real nice heavy sheath, almost a 1/2 inch thick on the sides. Very well done. For this one here, at the time I got this, didn't have a belt. This was given to us by our friend Alex in Texas. Thanks so much, Alex. I've just loved this knife since I've had it. So I ran a rope through it this is kind of like clothesline size rope, and then I rigged up kind of a trucker's hitch, wrap it around my waist. This is my Jethro Bodine style belt made out of string. I also have a little carabiner on here, carabiner, with a little hank of paracord and a small knife. And this is a small Gerber knife. Fantastic little knife for doing delicate things. I just keep it on here because once you get up around 7.5 inches, it kind of takes the delicateness out of your edge. So I always keep something just in case there's something I need to use a smaller knife with. So let's try this one here once. I also have a lanyard on this. I don't really put my hand in the lanyard usually, but you can. It's supposed to be a way to put your lanyard around your thumb so it fits into your hand just perfect. That way when it falls out of your hand, it swings to the side rather than back at you. I'll have to do a video on that later. And this is another knife here that hardly ever rusts at all. I think it's made out of 440 stainless steel, if I'm not mistaken. It has a little bit of surface rust on it, but hardly any at all. Got a funny little slot here for some reason, and kind of a jimping or something on the back. But very nice, very handy knife. For a big knife, it's very comfortable. It just fits your hand perfectly. I really like it. It's got enough weight that it's very impressive. Let's see how it'll shave today. Looks like I can use just a little bit of sharpening. Trying to use very little pressure to get nice thin curls. Very thin curls. This would be a survival knife I wouldn't mind taking with me if I had to go somewhere. Just feels great. Looks cool. I've always liked Bowie knives. I like all the Bowie knives I've seen mostly, except for the ones I've made. The ones I've made I don't like at all. Like I put too much of a curve on them or something. I just can't get used to them. But this one's real nice. This is one of Alex's personal knives that he sent to me. His family was so nice, they sent 2 Balak Bayon boxes of used and new clothes for my wife Marife to give away to the poor people at the church. And in the bottom of the one box, this knife was there. He didn't tell me about it. I found it by mistake, by accident. So fine, so fantastic when I found it. Maybe it was for the poor people, I don't know, but I commandeered it. This is kind of like just on the edge of a collector type knife. There weren't a whole lot of them made, I don't think. I think Hibbon is from Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. Gil Hibbon. There, I'm in some better Fatwood there. That's just like a little feather stick there. Okay. Let's put a little scraping on there maybe. It doesn't have a 90-degree spine on it. Might be on this little edge here might be 90 degrees, I'm not sure. Oh yeah. It's got a couple little edges here that are flat, 90 degrees. But for a good Fatwood fire, as you all know, having some scrapings is a huge bonus. Not necessary, but a huge bonus for the way it'll take a spark from a ferro rod. I haven't been able to get my stone and steel to start a Fatwood fire yet, but I know it can be done. Got all kinds of tar on the resin on the blade there from that. And I'm using a Nathan 4071 ferro rod. Neat thing about this ferro rod here too is it's got a giant handle on it, and the giant handle is Fatwood also. It's Fatwood from New Zealand, from our friend Jason. He drilled a hole and everything for me when he sent it to me. All I had to do was epoxy my ferro rod into it. And he mentioned today, I was saying kind of general that I was running out of fat. We said start carving it off that handle. So I might have to start taking a few pieces off that and slimming it down a little bit, I guess. And I'm using for a striker, I have an 1/8 inch piece of high-speed steel mounted in a little handle, which actually works quite well. Yeah. My dream is to get one of those inch ferro rods that you see the guys have that are about over a foot long. It's my dream to get one of those someday. Look how that flashes up though, isn't that amazing? The good Fatwood is just unbelievable. I would never go anywhere in the woods without a couple pieces of Fatwood in my fire kit, because that's a guaranteed fire right there. The other thing I always take with me, and you guys heard me a million times, is I always take in my pack, I usually take a gallon Ziploc bag, like a freezer bag especially because it's nice and thick, full of some sort of a dry tinder. Then I squash it all down, get all the air out of it, and zip it up. It doesn't take up any space at all. It's not to use just to make a general fire, but it's to have with me in case I can't find any tinder anywhere else. When I walk around, I look for tinder. Here in the tropics in the Philippines, tinder is a premium. It's very hard to find. And here you go, Fatwood. You can just usually stir it up a little bit and get it to puff up one more time. See, nice flame. But here it's real hard to find tinder. I'm always looking for a piece of dried bamboo or maybe the little branches off the coconut tree or something like that. But you get in the real jungle, there's rarely any bamboo, and there's even more rarely a piece of a coconut. Coconuts from domesticated places, you know. If you're in a real jungle, there's no coconut trees, nothing like that. But the problem is all the tinder, unless it's in the air, is rotting on the ground. A lot of times you can find a lot of little sticks hanging in the air. If you break them, they make the snap. Those are good too. But for the original tinder, the real fine stuff, you need to have be able to make a good bird's nest. I really don't use my ferro rod at all anymore in my travels. I usually make sure I have the stuff for a stone and steel fire. So I do need a bird's nest of some sort to get a good fire going. But you carry a bag of stuff with you, then you got it no matter what. The other thing I always carry, and I don't mean to drag this on to you guys, the other thing I always carry with me in every pack I have and every fire kit I have is a little sachet or a little squeeze tube or whatever of rubber cement or something in that ballpark that says highly flammable on it, and a little tube of that on some damp tinder. A lot of times is enough to dry it out enough that it'll start up. And as you guys all know, somewhere, sometime, a fire could mean the matter of life and death. I've never had that problem yet. I've never been that lost or that desperate, but it's still good to have that stuff with you. Be practiced with all your equipment. Try to use your equipment in different scenarios. You know, in the rain and the wind. When I had a freezer that built up the frost, here in the Philippines, I used to get all that frost in a bowl, and I'd soak my hands in the frost until my hands were so cold they were just burning. Then I'd go out and try to make a fire, you know, because you lose your sensitivity and stuff like that. I've also made fires in the pouring rain, on the edge of typhoons, things like that. But it's just, you know, it's just kind of a challenge to yourself. So take care. Hashtag 22 a day no more. Go out, have some fun, and by all means, be safe, everybody. Watch your six really close, and just plain old take care, guys. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Take care.